sure would like to hear about your discovery.
You got to have vision.
You can search, but we are confident that you won't find more shows covering more topics, hosted by a more diverse and inclusive lineup of talkers than the squad we have assembled here at KBLA Talk 1580.
This is the time, brothers. This is the time.
We've got something for everybody.
That's right.
Health and healing, history and humor, issues and events, empowerment and entertainment, all in one station.
What's really going on?
Free enterprise, you dig?
KBLA Talk 1580.
Yes.
Oh yeah. We got a lot to talk about.
King Kong ain't got on me.
I know I may be young, but I've got feelings too. And I need to do what I feel like doing. So let me go and just listen. All you people look at me like I'm a little girl. Well, did you ever think it'd be okay for me
I like
to step
Britney too.
into this
I was just looking at her the other day on Instagram. She is. She's I do like her too, and I think everybody loves her, but that follows her. But they're a little concerned that she's okay.
Yeah.
Well, I liked her music a lot.
I mean, I think she's better now that she's out of her conservatorship.
Yeah.
And is she pregnant? Did she get married to this other guy?
She got married,
They
but
got married?
I don't
Okay.
know about the pregnancy because I heard she was and she wasn't, so she doesn't look pregnant.
Okay.
No, I don't think she's pregnant. She said she had a food baby, which
That's
Food
what it
baby,
was,
okay.
yeah.
whatever that means.
I'll always support Britney.
That's very interesting.
Really? I
Very
love
talented.
Britney Spears.
Really?
I mean, just growing up, listening to her music and then seeing everything that she went through
Right.
and has gone through, and it's continuously going through.
Yes.
Like, I have a big part of my heart for her. Like, I empathize for her a lot. Yeah.
Oh, wow. I didn't
Oh,
know that.
wow. Really?
Yeah.
You like Britney, don't you?
I mean, she's okay, yeah.
We gonna protect Britney.
Yeah.
We protect
I love
Britney.
Britney.
Yeah.
I'm more concerned about protecting black women.
I mean, yes, of course.
I'm not hating on Britney.
Of course, let's protect black women.
I have limited resources that I am using to protect black women.
Well, good, Don Amiche. Thank you. Keep your resources towards protecting black
Yes.
women instead of Britney.
Protecting you guys from yourselves. Don't even
my
know what's
gosh.
going on here.
Whatever.
All right. This is a very interesting story that was coming out of New York. Before we get to that, did you guys see? So Art Basil's going on in Miami.
Who?
Art Basel. It's kind of art show and a bunch of concerts and stuff like that. They've got an ATM machine out there that is part of the art installation. I don't know if it gives you money out of the ATM machine, but what it does do is it puts your bank balance in part of a leaderboard.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah. The Work ATM leaderboard is an interactive sculpture. The art collective Mischief told USA Today the sculpture is a functioning ATM that can be used to check balances and make withdrawals, but the work captures a photo of each person who uses it and their bank balances.
Oh, that's dangerous.
Users are then ranked on a leaderboard according to the amount of money in their bank account. Daniel Greenberg, co-founder of Mischief, told USA Today the art collective does not gather additional information about participants willing to use the ATM. They do not have users' names or other data. Greenberg also confirmed that the work has been sold and the collector intends to place it in a public exhibition in the future. Art Basel in Miami is an extension of the art fair in Basel, Switzerland, and it has become a magnet for celebrities, fashion brands, and more. This year marks the 20th anniversary of the fair. The ATM leaderboard is an extremely literal distillation of wealth-flaunting impulses from its conception. We had mentally earmarked this work for a location like Miami Basel, a place where there's a dense concentration of people renting Lamborghinis and wearing Rolexes. And so in some ways, the higher you are on a leadership board, the more the piece is making fun of you. Footage of the ATM has gone viral online. I think the person who was in the top lead had, let's see here. As of Friday afternoon, the top-ranked participant was the artist Diplo, who appeared to have over $3 million in his bank account.
Wow.
Okay.
The artist shared a video on Twitter showing himself using the ATM machine. The work is in partnership between the art collective and Periton Gallery. Some guy who was anonymous, he had $2.3 million in his bank account.
Yikes.
I would be at the very bottom.
Oh, well,
I'd be
no.
the last name on the list.
So people are just sharing their bank balance. I would love to see this and just see the amount of wealth that is there in the sense of what people have in their bank account. Is it little wealth? Is it a lot of wealth? how much really going on. But average people were using it, and it was putting their balances out there.
But you don't think that's kind of dangerous? I mean, in light of these people that will be there, or if they post it online, and then that people end up following them or figuring out how to get to them and rob them. Diplo's huge. He's a really huge artist. I mean, he's done stuff with Justin Bieber. What do you call him? Is he a DJ or
I think he's a DJ.
Diplo? He's kind of like a DJ mixer or whatever. He's pretty huge. I wouldn't, if I were him, I wouldn't put my personal information like that.
I don't know if it puts your name out there. I think it just puts a picture of yourself and the amount.
That's worse.
Yeah, I know. That's not good.
Well, it's
especially
art.
In Miami.
Okay, that's art.
It's in an art installation. It's art. It's a different form of technological art. I mean, what does it say about human beings? Like, if you go there and you just look at the leadership board and you see, the vast majority of people have, I don't know, a few $1,000s or tens of $1,000s, and then you have $1 millionaire here, $1 millionaire there. I think, people like to ball out of control when they go to Art Basel, and I think this is just made to show that people are faking a lifestyle. I think that's the bigger meaning behind the whole thing, is that there's not that many, according to this ATM and this small sample size that it's collecting in the art exhibit, there's not that many millionaires there, and it's interesting when you do see one, $2.3 million in your bank account.
Yeah, I'd love to see that.
Yeah.
Well, I read an article last year that there were more millionaires than we know of, but they were mostly millennials because they were trust fund babies from baby boomers. And there's more of them out there than we realize. Also, with YouTube and all the social media, there's a lot of people making a lot of money, through especially YouTube. They capitalized on that from, the beginning, like there's a couple of them out there that have been on since like the inception of like having the YouTube video and creating like a crowd. I forget some of the names that my daughter watches, but these people have like they're bigger than some celebrities, that make these big movies.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, you mean
Trisha Paytas, I think, is one of them. That people love this woman, and she makes so much money. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's a whole, the traditional, celebrity has changed.
It definitely changed.
Technology has kind of shifted it to where people are just becoming famous online, and that's probably where the fame is going to reverberate and more. Used to be, you had to go be an actor or an artist and, or philanthropist or whatever to get some type of level of fame. Now it's just, you could, go viral with a video and become hot for a minute, or create an audience, which is what these online platforms are allowing you to do, that grows with you and helps you monetize it. It's hard work, though.
It is. It takes a lot of time.
It takes a lot of time, and then you got to have the resources to facilitate your life while you're building the audience online. It's not an easy thing to do for some. And some millennials got, I think, lucky with the online space because, they could do it because they either were out of work or living at home, and so they had nothing else to do because they were just living off their parents' dime. Here, if you're like Gen X or a baby boomer trying to sit there and play catch up to the technological atmosphere, it's hard. Yeah. I got a mortgage I got to pay.
Right.
I got kids in college I got to pay, and let alone me making TikTok dance videos.
Oh my gosh.
They're making money.
Yeah.
That's all of these social media people.
If you are mentally ill in New York, you might be locked up.
Oh, I read about that.
That's
Yeah.
No, I think
they're
it's
going to
good.
force you.
Why are we locking up people just because they're mentally ill?
Well, we got to get them off the streets.
I mean, you don't lock them up.
Boy,
That's
you are
inhumane.
just radical.
You didn't know that already?
Oh my God!
I never hide it.
What are you, Che Guevara over here, and Hugo Chavez and Fidel Castro all rolled in one?
And yeah, you ain't named no black freedom fighters. Can I get some Black Panthers
all right,
named up in there?
little Angela Davis,
there
a
we
little
go.
Malcolm X.
Little Malcolm X.
You
All of that.
more radical than little Minister Little Farrakhan.
That might be.
All right, baby Farrakhan.
There I go.
More of this when we come forward. It's KBLA Talk 1580.
We may be LA's newest talk station, but when you're punching above your weight, it's not about whether you can throw a punch. Can you take a punch? We're unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. And we don't black down.
Congratulations to Trinity Unlimited Childcare for being KBLA Talk 1580's Office of the Week. Into your business today in the KBLA app or KBLA1580.com for the Office of the Week. Congratulations to Trinity Unlimited Childcare.
Bring in the new year
with Cat Williams. He's coming to Ontario in the Toyota Arena December 30th. And in Los Angeles in the Microsoft Theater December 31st.
I don't know what I'm going to do about this light bill. Just hit the blunt one time and see if it don't change your perception of what's important in your life. I don't know what I'm going to do about this life. Them boys. I got 12 candles. I've been waiting to burn them.
He's back with an all-new show. It's the award-winning comedian, Cat Williams.
Just so you knew they was lying, they said some next that don't even make mathematical sense. They said there's a chicken wing shortage, but we got plenty thighs.
Cat Williams with his special guests, Mark Curry, Tommy Davidson, Tony Roberts, Daphne Springs, and Pretty Ricky. In Ontario, get tickets at Ticketmaster. In Los Angeles at AXS.com. Bring in the new year with Cat Williams.
Nacho fries are back at Taco Bell. You know, the fries covered in bold Mexican spices you dip in a warm nacho cheese sauce. You could also dunk them in nacho cheese sauce or pour the sauce onto a pile of them and create like a nacho fries nachos. The thing is that you eat them with nacho cheese sauce. That's what makes them nacho fries. Otherwise, you're just eating fries and sipping on nacho cheese sauce, and that's the wrong way. Sorry, just really passionate about nacho fries.
Nacho fries are back, only at Taco Bell. At participating U.S. Taco Bell locations for a limited time only while supplies last. Contact local store for hours and participation which vary.
Let me guess. Unknown caller? You could reduce the number of unwanted calls and emails with online privacy protection. The latest innovation from Discover will help regularly remove your personal info, like your name and address, from 10 popular people search websites that could sell your data. And we'll do it for free. Activate in the Discover app. See terms and learn more at discover.com/online privacy protection.
KBLA Talk 1580 is pleased to announce a can't-miss community event.
It's a celebration.
Welcome home, Mayor-elect Karen Bass.
You gotta be kidding me.
On Saturday, December 10th, 10 a.m. to 1 p.m., join KBLA Talk 1580 in Leimert Park at the intersection of Leimert and Vernon for this free public event as we celebrate Mayor-elect Bass's historic victory. There'll be live performances from Brian McKnight, Wapale, Club Nouveau, and more. There'll be food trucks and a diverse array of vendors, along with the attendance and participation from community leaders, elected officials, celebrities, business owners, and other notables. KBLA Talk 1580 will host Mayor-elect Bass on the main stage at 11 a.m. as we reflect on the importance of this moment and what it means for the Black community, women, and all Angelinos who believe in the limitless potential of our amazing city. We look forward to celebrating with Mayor-elect Karen Bass and you, Saturday, December 10th, 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. at the intersection of Leimert and Vernon.
It's a celebration.
This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
We gon' celebrate your party with you. Come on, come on now.
We've got a lot to talk about. Looking for legitimate political discourse without the bear spray? Tune in and speak out. KBLA Talk 1580.
That's funny. Two friends went to Miami for spring break and came back pregnant and don't know who the fathers are. That's horrible.
That is terrible.
That is horrible.
It's a very risky lifestyle.
Oh, come on now. What are we doing?
Is that the one where the young lady actually found the baby daddy on social media?
I saw that. I saw that story, and it was like 2 years later, and she was like,
the thing that's different.
I tracked him down. He's got a baby, and then I forgot what happened with him.
She actually was able to meet him and show him the baby. Like, he didn't reject her and the baby.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there was a young Black couple at that.
Here, let me see what this story is. This is me and my friends went to Miami for spring.
Me and my friend went to Miami for spring break.
Me and my friend went for Miami for spring break and came back pregnant. Don't know who the fathers are.
And don't know who the fathers are.
How you gonna not know who the dad is?
Wow.
That means they were with multiple people.
Well, no, maybe they just didn't exchange. I mean, how well do you really know these people? You go, you hook up, and then they leave, and
really, but unprotected, hooking up, one night stands like that. That's crazy.
That's norm.
Who raised them?
Nobody.
That's not the norm.
Nobody.
Clearly, nobody.
Nobody.
Clearly.
Obviously. I mean, but that's listen, that's part of the risky lifestyle. Listen, I also had a plan to stop unwanted pregnancy.
What's your plan, Don Amiche?
I got to hear this.
You've heard it before.
I don't remember it, so it must not have been that great.
At and with the Council of Medical Professionals, young girls, probably when they become of age, when they start getting their cycles, should go to the doctors and get one of those, what is that, UTI thingamabobs? What is it called?
Shot?
Not the shot, but the little thingamabob that they push in there.
No.
What is it a UTI? What is it called?
It is a...
UVI?
I don't know.
UBS?
It is some type of like birth control that they don't have to take out.
Right. So at a very young age, maybe middle school, high school, young women go and get these things put in there. Do you do that? And that becomes the norm? You know what I'm saying?
No, there are too many negative health implications there. So I think a better idea would be when our young men... I don't know. At what age?
How's that working out?
Listen,
how's that working out?
How
is that working out?
You're not even letting me say it.
I'm a realist.
I'm a realist
How
too.
is that working out?
I think that this is more realistic than putting some type of contraption into our young girls' bodies that are going to cause cancer and other health effects. When we know that there is a process called, what is that called? What the men do? So that they don't have what is that called? Vasectomies.
Yeah.
Exactly. I hear that it's a very easy procedure. That there's no recovery time. You can go get a vasectomy on your lunch break and then go to work.
And it's reversible.
So if we get our young men vasectomies, and then insurance can pay for it as well.
Right.
And then when the young men decide that they want to start families, then they can get it reversed. That's better.
Yeah.
Oh, you don't agree with that? Or you think that that's a clear plan?
You are IUDs.
IUD.
IUDs is what I'm talking about.
I've heard of that.
Nah.
Yeah. So you're talking about destroying some organs or some type of vessels inside of a man's body, and I'm just talking about inserting a plastic.
Which is harmful, though,
well,
Don Amiche.
let's look and see how.
Why would we do that?
To prevent
that doesn't make sense.
Unwanted pregnancies.
Well, the way we're going to do that is to prevent the men from impregnating the women.
Yeah,
yeah, that's true. Seriously.
Okay, well, you can keep your legs closed.
That too, but I'm just
Let's
saying.
see, what is an IUD? Is an intrauterine device, a tiny T-shaped plastic device about the size of a quarter, which works by changing the lining of the uterus so that the sperm cannot make their way to the egg to cause pregnancy. A clinician places it inside a person's uterus during the simple procedure where it can stay and remain effective for 3 to 12 years. Perfect. Depending on which kind of I'm looking right now, depending on what IUD you use, there are 4 types of IUDs. Paragard, which has no hormones. Marina, Scala, and Lil Etta, which have a small amount of hormone progestin. Let me see here with the... Okay, let's look at the cons. Paragard does not protect against sexually transmitted disease or HIV. Paragard may cause occasional cramps and heavier periods for some. Not all providers will stock or know how to place Paragard. Ask your provider where they carry it and your options. Let's see, Marina does not protect against STDs or HIV. Not all will stock or know how to place Marina, whether they carry it and what your options are. Skyla does not protect against STDs. Will not all providers not have it in stock. And let's see, what's the other? Lil Etta, no STDs, not in stock. Yeah, so...
Yeah, but what do the women who have had IUDs have to say about their experience having them?
True.
Let me see here. IUD. Let me just do a quick search. IUD. Health
side effects.
Health
side
effects.
Yeah.
Health effects. How about that? That's a better.
Risks right here.
Okay.
Oh yeah, this is not good. The risks are bad, like cramping, pelvic pain, mood changes, irregular bleeding. Breast tenderness, acne. Women don't want acne. Young girls and headache.
Or cramps.
Which one is it?
The risks.
No. Which IUD?
Oh, I just did the IUD. I said, and it just gave the risks.
Yeah, I don't see it. Can IUD? Yeah, it's IUD slightly raise your odds for infection of the uterus, fallopian tubes, or ovaries, called pelvic inflammation disease. Bacteria that causes PID can get into your body when the IUD is inserted. You're most likely to get an infection in the first 20 days after you get an IUD.
Oh my God, who wants that?
Well, who wants a baby?
I mean, the vasectomy sounds more doable.
It also says,
Really?
Listen, when you go to Miami and get pregnant and you don't know who the father is, I gave you a plan. Gave you a situation.
Those girls definitely needed IUDs or something because they're not responsible.
Another thing for young girls, they don't like to gain weight, right?
Yeah.
And one of the side effects is weight gain.
Yes.
It says here as well, and that would be upsetting to a lot of young girls.
All right, just don't put food in your mouth.
Oh, wow. I mean, you're still going to gain weight regardless of if you starve yourself. Oh, so you just want to swap it out for an eating disorder, Don Amiche.
Or what would you rather have, an eating disorder or a baby?
Neither.
Okay.
Neither. I want to just be healthy.
Sophie's choice. Pick one. You got to pick one.
I just want to be healthy.
You got to pick one.
Why do you not agree with young guys getting vasectomy?
Because there's a difference in the procedures.
Yeah, but it's reversible.
Okay.
And then you can't get sick.
And so is the IUD.
No, but we just read off all of these negative things.
Right.
And you think that a woman's still supposed to live with that?
Yes.
No, that's not fair.
Absolutely.
I just want you to have.
Welcome
I want
to life.
you to live in a woman's body for 30 days. That way you can have your cycle. I need for you to experience the cramps.
I have
I
been.
need for you to get the bloating, the mood swings.
I have been in a woman's body for 30 days.
Oh
I
my
know
God.
exactly what it feels like. I understand. I understand the things and what you go through. I get it. I have a lot of empathy for you. I'm just trying to stop unwanted pregnancies from happening at a very young age when you have no type of support system financially or maybe paternal or to support these babies. That's all I'm trying to stop. That's all. Not trying to kill you. Not trying to kill the vibe. Once you go to Miami and turn up, I want you to have a great time.
But Don, according to your logic,
Yes.
didn't we just talk about a study that this younger generation, they're not having sex as much as the baby boomers and Gen Xers?
Wow, not according to these two. They went to Miami and turned up.
Two people in comparison to like a whole group of
This is more than just. This is the second story I've heard about this happening.
Well,
That's a very small number, though. I agree with Krista.
Yeah,
you're
small
just
number.
making it bigger.
Listen, hey, it's your womb.
Yeah, exactly.
It's your
Which
womb.
is why the young lady should be able to decide whether or not she wants a UDI.
IUD.
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 Look, I don't do birth control, so I wouldn't know.
Oh, you're another person who just wings it, huh?
No, I didn't even say that I have sex, but I'm saying I've never taken birth control. I've just decided not to put any chemicals in my body, and I'm happy with it. It's worked so far.
All right. Yeah, you got the what they call the pull-out method. That's
oh
it.
my
No,
God!
I didn't say that either.
Yeah, it's
I didn't say that.
Listen, my pull-out game is strong. I've worked very hard. I mean, there's sometimes I've fallen short, yes, but 98% of the time.
Safe sex is the only. That's the best sex. Safe sex. So protection. I always use protection.
Unprotected sex is the best sex.
Oh, Don.
And I'm just speaking from a man's point of view and a woman's point of view too.
Terrible. That's so bad.
What kind of message is that for our younger people listening?
I just gave you a plan on how to stop. Now I'm saying there's responsibility to go around for everybody. IUDs for the women, condoms for the men, abstinence for everybody.
Abstinence for everybody.
You know, but listen, this is a multi-pronged approach that I'm trying to help.
Why
You're
aren't
not
we
helping much.
Why aren't
at
we
all.
waiting until we get married, like it was in the old days? I really subscribe to that.
Right.
Some people don't want to get married.
Right.
Well, okay, that's true. Why don't we wait until we find our long-term companion?
Yeah. Yeah. You know, Mary Magdalene, Jesus, was it Mary Magdalene? Is that it? Jesus' mom?
Yeah, Mary, not Mary Magdalene. That's a prostitute.
Okay, that was
yeah,
Mary.
Mary.
So the Virgin Mary.
Yeah.
Who got sent away to another city because she was with child that wasn't even, was it Joseph?
Yeah.
Joseph
It
was
wasn't
her
even
husband.
Joseph, her husband's kid?
No.
Oh, where'd that baby come from?
Immaculate conception.
Oh. Then you know what? These two girls in Miami, they got little Jesuses inside of them.
I think so. I saw somebody on a show once. I don't know if it was Dr. It was Dr. Phil. And she was saying that she's pregnant but she's pregnant via immaculate conception, and like swore up and down.
I think I did see that.
That just was so crazy.
Yeah,
to me.
no, immaculate conception was the guy's name.
Yeah, exactly.
that was the guy's name. Okay. All right. The country's largest city is giving officials discretion to hospitalize people living on the streets and experiencing severe mental illness, even if it's against the person's wishes. New York City Mayor Eric Adams said Tuesday. Now, I applaud Eric Adams, who worked in the police department, now the mayor of New York. He's a black guy.
That's a very police-like action. Come on now, that's inhumane.
So look, if you allow people to do whatever they want to do, just listen. This is one of the reasons why people adhere to religion, because it creates discipline in people's lives. But if you allow them to do whatever they want to do, they will do nothing. That is in their best interest at the end of the day.
Not necessarily.
I don't know.
I mean, you can't just hospitalize someone because they have mental health issues. I think the appropriate response would be getting them access to the resources that they need.
We're going to do that.
But not by locking them up in a mental institution.
Not locking them up.
And especially against their will.
You're looking at it as locking up. I'm looking at it. It's a vacation.
It's not a vacation.
Listen, we're getting you off the streets. Well, let's move into the story. Let's see here. Adams described city residents with severe and untreated mental illnesses who sleep on the subway cars and park benches. Said their living situations are a crisis we see all around us. There's an overlap between people who experience homelessness and people with mental illness, according to the researchers at the Urban Institute, an economic and social policy think tank. So what it means, experts say homeless people may have a harder time accessing consistent treatment for mental illness because their everyday lives can be so precarious. At the same time, mental illness may make it considerably more difficult for someone without a place to live to find stable employment and pay for housing. So the city must do more to help people experiencing mental illness in public, especially people with untreated psychotic disorders, Adams said while laying out his 11-point mental health agenda for the upcoming legislative session. As part of new measures, city officials are authorized to hospitalize people who pose a risk to harm to themselves, even if they are not an imminent threat to the public.
That's bad.
We're going to get to more of this. Where's the radicalness in you now? Now you're not radical?
I mean, I am humane. I believe that, like, I'm a human rights activist first and foremost.
We're going to get to more of the story when we come forward. It's KBLA Talk 1580.
We don't try to be all things to all people. We just remain true to who we are. You're listening to KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Doug Davis, and here's the latest from the Black Information Network. Houston police are announcing the arrest of 33-year-old Patrick Xavier Clark, who is being accused of killing Migos rapper Takeoff. In making the announcement, Black Mayor Sylvester Turner said gun violence has to stop.
That this was a case of a young man taking the life of another young man for no reason.
The rapper was 28 years old and was shot to death a month ago while attending a private party at a bowling alley in Houston. The holiday season means lots of festivities, but it's also prime time for porch pirates. More than 200 million packages nationwide have been stolen off of porches just this year. There hasn't been a Mega Millions jackpot winner in weeks, but lottery players are hoping luck is on their side tonight. The top prize for the popular game has grown to $333 million after no one correctly picked all of the winning numbers for Tuesday's drawing. And that's the latest. I'm Doug Davis from the Black Information Network and BINnews.com.
We've got a bit of a mess in the Newhall area where the 5 and 14 intersect. On the southbound 14 at the 5, the truck ramp to the southbound 5 is closed. The west 210 ramp to the northbound 5 also closed. And northbound 5 between the 210 and the 14, the truck route is closed. It's actually closed on the southbound side as well. This is all due to a couple of accidents that have happened there involving big rigs.
Hi, I'm Kyle, and my company is Blindster.com. I started Blindster in 2010 to provide custom blinds, shades, and shutters at affordable prices. Our blinds are easy to install and shipping is free. Don't hire an expensive professional. Do it yourself and save big at Blindster.com.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
Saturday's SWAC championship game will get national exposure. ESPN2 will have live coverage of the game featuring undefeated Jackson State versus Southern. Kickoff is at 1 p.m. Pacific time. The game might not have as much interest as what could happen on Sunday. Jackson State coach Deion Sanders is expected to announce on Sunday whether or not he's staying with the HBCU power. Sanders has an offer on the table from Colorado, and he's had interest from other Division I schools. Join me and my co-host Neil Scarborough, the editor extraordinaire, tomorrow night at 7 on KBLA for Out of Bounds, the show where we bring some flavor to the world of sports for 60 minutes. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson. This sports report was brought to you by MVP Accident Attorneys. When it comes to your settlement, we're a slam dunk. Call 833-MVP-WINS or check their website at themvp.com for a free case review.
If you're the victim of a car accident, call the pros at MVP Accident Attorneys. When it comes to getting the maximum compensation you deserve, our team hits it out of the park. Call 833-MVP-WINS for a free case review.
Call on me, your MVP.
This is a rather bold pronouncement, but we think we can back it up. If you come across a radio frequency anywhere putting more variety and more diversity on the air than KBLA Talk 1580, we sure would like to hear about your discovery. You got to have vision. You can search. We are confident that you won't find more shows covering more topics, hosted by a more diverse and inclusive lineup of talkers than the squad we have assembled here at KBLA Talk 1580.
This is the time, brothers. This is the time.
We've got something for everybody. That's right. Health and healing, history and humor, issues and events, empowerment and entertainment, all in one station.
What's really going on? Free enterprise, you dig?
KBLA Talk 1580.
Yes.
Oh yeah. We got a lot to talk about.
King Kong ain't got on me.
According to the National Black Justice Institute, a majority of Black LGBTQ plus students experience harassment in school because of their sexual orientation, gender expression, and racial identity. This reality is compounded by the fact there are few safe, affirming spaces for Black LGBTQ plus middle and high school youth in our communities. On December 3rd, 2022, African American LGBTQ plus youth from the ages 14 to 18 are invited to participate in a fun and culturally enriching youth retreat at the Stone View Nature Center in Culver City from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. The event will focus on mental health, social justice leadership, safe space creation, yoga, music, drumming, and art making. Breakfast, lunch, and gift items will be provided to all youth participants. For more information, check out the event website at womensleadershipla.org or call 323-304-9578.
If you're a Los Angeles Department of Water and Power residential customer, listen to this. LADWP now offers convenient monthly billing through the new Level Pay program. Level Pay helps you budget for your utility bill with a predictable monthly amount that can also include past due balances. You'll know exactly how much you need to pay each month. Don't wait. Sign up today for Level Pay by calling 1-800-DIAL-DWP. That's 1-800-DIAL-DWP.
KBLA Talk 1580 invites you to join us in celebrating the season of giving by being part of the solution. As we enjoy great food, family, warmth, and well wishes in whatever our festive tradition may be, we share the beauty of the season by reaching out to the less fortunate. Please help us to help others with the KBLA Cover the Houseless Cozy Community Coat and Blanket Drive. All you have to do is drop off new or clean, gently used winter coats and blankets in the KBLA lobby during business hours. Now through December 20th, all of the coats and blankets will be donated to unsheltered individuals and families experiencing houselessness. Simply bring your donation to 4434 Crenshaw Boulevard in Los Angeles, near Vernon Avenue, from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. weekdays. That's 4434 Crenshaw in historic Leimert Park. During the holidays and every day, let's remember, we keep us safe. We keep us warm. We are the safety net. And together, we can cover the unsheltered. Get caught up in the spirit of the season, the spirit of love. Make a difference with your friends at KBLA Talk 1580.
KBLA Talk 1580.
The thrill of victory. The thrill of victory. Thrill of victory. Yeah, man.
KBLA Talk 1580 wishes to congratulate Mayor-elect Karen Bass on her historic win as the first woman and only second African-American to serve as Chief Executive of the City of Los Angeles.
Congratulations, Mayor-elect Bass, and welcome back
to unapologetically progressive KBLA Talk 1580.
Well, thank you. Thank you so much for having me on the show. And this is my very first interview, and I am proud that it's here.
We are proud to have you here. What do you want to say to the listeners of KBLA Talk 1580?
I want to say thank you from just, I'm just full of the love that I felt every place I went in the community. And I just want the listeners to know that I promise you I won't disappoint you. I will be accessible. I will never forget where I'm from, and understand that is my primary motivation.
Congratulations, Mayor-elect Karen Bass, holding all leaders accountable to you.
No matter who you voted for, no matter who you are or where you live, I will be a mayor for you.
We're KBLA Talk 1580. Talk 1580. Talk 1580. And we don't black down. We've got a lot to talk about. We knew you'd stick around. This is LA's home for progressive talk radio. Welcome back to KBLA Talk 1580.
All right, so, New York City Mayor Eric Adams said the city must do more to help people experiencing mental illness in public, especially those with untreated psychotic disorders. He laid out his 11-point mental health agenda for the upcoming legislative system. As part of the new measure, city officials are authorized to hospitalize people who pose a risk of harm to themselves, even if they're not an imminent threat to the public. The policy guidance will affect people with mental illness who pose a threat to themselves, not others. Officials already intervene and hospitalize some individuals who pose a risk to others. I think that's kind of how it is in California. The policy guidance will affect people with mental illness who pose a threat to themselves, not others. A common misunderstanding persists that we cannot provide involuntary assistance unless the person is violent, suicidal, or presenting a risk of imminent harm. He said many people who are unhoused and suffer from mental illness in New York are in urgent need of treatment, yet often refuse it when offered. And I know this from my aunt was homeless and she had mental illness, and it wasn't until she hit a cop that I think they got her to help, and she got criminal charges at that too. The mayor also added this group of people cycle in and out of hospitals and jails in the city, so there's also another thing to kind of get them off the street, maybe get them help, because if you're taking up a hospital bed and a jail cell when you're just mentally ill, they're trying to treat the root of the problem. So how the policy is going to work. The mayor's directive would give outreach workers, city hospitals, and first responders, including police, discretion to hospitalize anyone they deem a danger to themselves or unable to care for themselves. As part of the initiative, the city is developing a phone line that would allow police officers to consult with clinicians. The mayor said he has begun deploying teams of clinicians and police officers to patrol the busiest subway stations. The city was also rolling out trains to police officers. Training to police officers and other first responders to help provide compassionate care in situations that could cause the involuntary removal of a person showing signs of mental illness in public places. A spokesperson for New York Governor Kathy Hochul said the city's plans builds on mutual efforts to increase capacity at psychiatric hospitals as well as expand outreach teams in subways. Advocates say cycle of homelessness will continue. Advocates fighting homelessness have argued helping people with mental illness who live on the street requires a combination of housing and clinical services. Individuals who are part of the population, Adams described, do need mental health services, but likely will not benefit from the guidance due to broader struggles they face. A housing policy, that's Sarah Gillespie, a housing policy researcher with the Urban Institute. If you transport them to a hospital, I'm not sure what services they would receive, and if there is no plan for permanent housing, they will return to the street, and the cycle will continue. Maybe getting them out of New York City is a better.
He wants to ship them off and throw them in the desert. That's the whole thing. Yeah.
Throw them in the desert.
That's what you want to do.
Somewhere outside of where society
That's
is.
what you want to do. You've even mentioned that, taking them and putting them all like over there, on the way to
like in a concentration camp? You say I want to put them in like an Auschwitz?
Like. Yes, you do.
I do not. I do want to put them in like a FEMA camp. Yeah, I do. Well, I want to put the homeless in a FEMA camp. This is something different. Mental illness. I think these people definitely need to be locked up in a psychiatric hospital.
Not locked up.
Yeah. Well,
the
I'm
advocates were on point. Housing first and foremost. Like, I get it. They're sleeping on the subway. They don't want them to sleep on the subway, and they're using mental health as an excuse to take them off the subway and incarcerate them in a way. That's what it is.
Well, do you want mentally ill people on the subway system while you ride it?
Yeah, I do. I mind my own business. I'm just saying.
Until somebody sock you in your mouth.
And then what? Then I defend myself. Clearly, I'm not. I don't care if you are mentally unstable. If you sock me in my mouth, you're going to get aggressed upon by me.
Now, I know I told you.
I know you like gifts. They wanted to give you a gift.
That's not a good gift.
I know I told you this story, but I'm wondering if you heard this story because this happened last year in Hollywood. A young woman was walking out of a restaurant to her car, and he definitely had a mentally ill problem, and they said he was homeless. He threw warm poop, his diarrhea on her.
That's disgusting.
And then she talked about it, and they took her immediately to the hospital. I mean, they called the police. They took her because they want to make sure she didn't have any, get any type of I don't know, maybe hepatitis or whatever from this guy. But I've heard stories like that where some of these mentally ill people will just come and just physically attack you out of nowhere. I think, and unfortunately, I think they should be forced to go somewhere if they're violent like that. But does that help them? I mean, do you keep them there forever? Because if you put them back on the street,
well, here was a study.
Thing.
They did a study in Denver that found stable housing was directly linked with better outcomes for people with mental illness and substance abuse disorders. In the study, a randomized control group of people were offered housing, and after 3 years, 77% of them remained in stable housing and avoided jail stays and trips to the emergency room. When you read a policy and the announcement, it's framed as these folks cannot meet their basic needs, and that's why they need this involuntary treatment. And so the argument would be if they had a place to live, there's research evidence that tells us that they would be able to meet their basic needs.
Yeah.
The bigger question is that why can't you meet your basic needs? Is this city too expensive for you to live in? And would a smaller city with a smaller cost of living?
You love displacement.
We'll just roll with me here. If you're living on the streets, would you rather live on the streets in Los Angeles or go to a city that might have more of an opportunity for you for work and to where you can provide for yourself for whatever skills you have and a lower cost of living expense?
Yeah, but
Or
I
do
think
you
that's
just
a
wanna-
personal choice. People should be able to make that decision, not have the government make the decision for them.
But you're asking the government to come in and provide housing for you.
Well, if we're going to put them in mental health institutions, it's going to cost more to house them there than it would be if we just provide some type of housing for them until they can get on their feet.
I don't know if they ever want to get on their feet. I think there's a point where some people just adjust to the life that's presented to them.
Well,
that's why they're on the streets in the first place.
Well, then maybe they can get Social Security because mental health is a disorder, right?
Right, but you can't live in New York and on Social Security, can you?
I don't know. I've never lived in New York.
Could you live in LA on Social Security?
Maybe they should have subsidized housing.
Yes.
Something definitely should be available for them, especially if we know that they have mental health issues.
Maybe we find companies in the Midwest in smaller cities that are willing to give them a fresh start and a new job and a new life. And let's get you out of the hustle and bustle and the anxiety of living in a major city where you're kind of locked out because your skills are outdated.
Why are we infringing on private corporations?
Well, you're infringing on the city, though.
But that is what the city's supposed to do.
That's what you want the city to do.
That's what we have a government for. It's true. So the government is established for that. It is supposed to enact the will of the people. It's supposed to create structure and assist the people who live under its jurisdiction. Private corporations aren't obligated to do any of that.
No, but it would be nice if they would help.
Yeah, but that's once again a personal decision
I
that
think
these people have to make on their own.
I think a public-private cooperation to help people, I think is a. Do you want to teach a person how to fish, or you just want to feed them fish?
We want to teach the people who can learn how to fish, how to fish.
Absolutely.
But we're talking about people who may have extreme mental health disorders.
All right, so let's
who may not be able to live a regular life.
Yes, so let's get you the help you need. By getting you off the street and getting you into a psychiatric inn.
Not an inn. Oh my God.
A psychiatric inn. Let's get you the help that you need. Let's get you stable, and then let's say, hey, how about we turn the page on this life here in New York, and let's try new beginnings.
Housing is necessary.
Absolutely, you're right. New beginnings outside of the stressfulness of living in a major metropolitan city that is expensive.
How do you know that it's stressful for them?
They're on the streets.
I know, but people make it to the streets for different reasons, and they might like living there.
There's some people who really do.
All right. Well, if they like living on the streets, let's put you in a national forest with a tent. and you can live off the land. Melrose Larry Green has a question for you. Yes, Melrose.
Yeah, I'm almost at a loss of words when I heard Shay's comment about.
You've been at a loss. Listen,
you've
been at a loss of words this whole week.
Listen. Among other papers, I read the New York Times, the LA Times. I got a stack of New York Posts, and I have a manila folder called City in Crisis. And I started this in 2018 when Bill de Blasio was still mayor, and now it's 4 years later. There are hundreds, thousands of cases of mentally ill people that have attacked people, raped women, thrown them on front of subway tracks and killed them, used knives, machetes, axes, thousands of cases. And you're not going to like what I'm going to say right now. 98% of the people that did this were black. Okay? And in most cases, well, I don't care. You know, Shay, one day I'll have coffee with you, and I'll bring my dossier of City in Crisis from the New York Times, and my copy of BB, my story. I'll bring that also, and I'll show you the facts. Basically, the city of New York is out of control, and L.A. is going to be next. You know, I love Karen Bass. I think she's going to be different than Eric Adams or anybody else, or Bill de Blasio. I think Karen Bass is not as anti-cop as you might think. Karen Bass knows what's going on. She was robbed of 2 guns in her house, which were used for protection, and she's been a victim of crime and is a self-taught person. But if these mentally ill people, you tell this to the family of Daniel Enriquez, who was simply going to brunch, Shay, a Hispanic guy going to brunch from Brooklyn to Manhattan, and was killed by some homeless mother effer. I can say that on live radio. And the guy is probably going to not do any jail time because he's mentally ill. I object to that whole mental. That's why I didn't want to go to law school. I object to this whole idea that if someone's mentally ill, they're not responsible. BS. Tell that to the parents of Daniel Enriquez, who was executed in cold blood on the subway about 2 months ago. And it happens every day in New York. Every single day. And it happens in L.A. too, but the L.A. Times doesn't cover these stories. We only really have one paper in L.A., the Times. The Daily News is very small. But you know I'm right. And
I don't think you're right. And I'm going to need to see the data for those statistics. 98% of the people with mental health issues that kill and hurt people are black.
Hear me out.
Come on.
Hear me out, Shay. It's maybe 99%. Let me tell you this, Shay.
I doubt that.
Shay, I will see you on the 10th, and we'll go to the Jerk Chicken and we'll sing Bob Marley songs.
How dare you assume that I like Jerk Chicken and Bob Marley just because I'm black? What's going on,
What, do you not like Jerk Chicken?
No, not for this conversation, I don't.
Yeah,
please stop saying it. Thank you.
What is that? What is that? One Love by Bob Marley?
One Love. Yeah. Stand up, get up, stand up. Don't give up the fight. See you December 10th. I'll be there with Karen Bass. Karen Bass is new mayor. I love her.
There you go. You know, Melrose
Come on, Shay.
He just wants peace.
Really? I don't know, Melrose. I think you might want peace, but some of the stuff you say is pretty problematic, sir. I
think he was saying about
one love, Jerk Chicken, Shay.
Jerk Chicken. Oh my God, what are you?
Listen, he loves black women. He
does. I mean, most white people do like black women.
He loves
white
black
men
women.
Love black women.
He loves black. He has a thing for black women.
Even racist white men love black women.
Do they?
Yes, they do. Come on.
You'll know me by my big Jewish nose. You'll know me.
When our people were enslaved, those enslavers raped those women. They raped men too. So
oh wow.
Yeah,
they did. Yeah, but they called it buck breaking.
Yeah, they did.
All right, Melrose, thank you for the call. I appreciate it. All right, more of this conversation when we come forward. Okay.
Say the quiet part out loud. KBLA Talk 1580.
3 Bay Area counties have black women chief prosecutors. Maisha Cairo here with your K-Black Minute News, brought to you by CaliforniaBlackMedia.org. Civil rights attorney Pamela Price made history when she was elected Alameda County's first African-American district attorney. Price joins 2 other black women, Contra Costa County DA Diana Becton and San Francisco DA Brooke Jenkins, holding the same office in their Bay Area counties. Price is the 5th black woman to be elected district attorney in California. Former DAs on the list are Vice President Kamala Harris, who was San Francisco's DA from 2004 to 2010, and Jackie Lacey, who was Los Angeles County's DA for 2 terms from 2012 to 2020. KBLA listeners, what are your thoughts on these offices being held by black women? Let us know on all social media platforms at KBLA 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
Hi, this is Stevie Wonder, and nothing can stop this love. It's back. Join me at my 24th House Full of Toys benefit concert, Saturday, December 17th at the Microsoft Theater.
Please bring an unwrapped toy.
Or a gift of joy, and make this a day of giving to the young and old.
Stevie Wonder.
My 24th House Full of Toys benefit concert.
Tickets on sale now at AXS.com.
Produced by Wonder Productions and promoted by AEG.
When you're the victim of a car accident, who goes to bat for you is crucial. We're MVP Accident Attorneys, the personal injury pros. Hiring the right law firm can be the difference between a rewarding settlement and striking out. When it comes to getting the maximum compensation you deserve, our team hits it out of the park. Call the pros at MVP Accident Attorneys at 833-MVP-WINS for a free case review. Call 833-MVP-WINS.
Call on me, your MVP.
Let K. Michelle's Kitchen Catering bring you a world of flavors to your next event. For all occasions, book with K. Michelle's Kitchen Catering. Call 310-819-6213 or go to kmichellekitchencatering.com. Proud sponsor of the Office of the Week. Let K. Michelle's Kitchen Catering cater your next event. Book today at kmichellekitchencatering.com or on Instagram at kmichelles_kitchen catering or on Facebook at K. Michelle's Kitchen Catering. We look forward to cooking for you soon.
Congratulations to Trinity Unlimited Childcare for being KBLA Talk 1580's Office of the Week. Into your business today in the KBLA app or KBLA1580.com for the Office of the Week. Congratulations to Trinity Unlimited Childcare.
KBLA Talk 1580.
We've got a whole lot to talk about.
Hi, Maisha Cairo here, KBLA, live at Chase Bank on Crenshaw and Vernon for the In This Together tour with female business owners, a day of empowerment, community panels, and best of all, tips on building business from marketing to capital. Today, I was able to speak with Ola Wadibia, VP of Women on the Move. Hi, Ola. Tell me a bit about this initiative by JP Morgan Chase, founded in 2013.
Women on the Move is a center of excellence at JP Morgan Chase in our global DEI organization, where we really focus on diversity, equity, and inclusion. What's really awesome about Chase's approach is that all of our centers of excellence, and there's 7 of them, focus on different demographic groups, is that we're really focusing on what's happening internally in the firm and also what's happening out in community. So really, Women on the Move is really focused on thinking about how do we help advance women professionally and personally.
I love it. So tell me about this beautifully updated banking branch here on Crenshaw.
That was really important. A part of our racial equity commitment was to build in place for Chase. So being able to revamp this beautiful space, to be able to welcome community members, today anyone, nonprofit, organization, school can actually do events in our community center that we're sitting in here for free. Yes, people come inside, grab a coffee, use the Wi-Fi. It's free.
Yes, Maisha Cairo in the community for KBLA with JP Morgan Chase.
Mornings were made for better things than rheumatoid arthritis or RA. Xeljanz tofacitinib is a pill for adults with moderate to severe RA when tumor necrosis factor blockers did not work well or could not be tolerated. Xeljanz can help relieve joint pain, swelling, and help stop further joint damage. Xeljanz can lower your ability to fight infections. Don't start if you have one. Before and during treatment, your doctor should check for infections like TB and do blood tests. Serious, sometimes fatal infections, cancers including lymphoma and lung, blood clots, serious heart-related events, tears in the stomach or intestines, and allergic reactions have happened. People 50 and older with heart disease risk factors have an increased risk of death. Tell your doctor if you've had hepatitis B or C, have flu-like symptoms, are prone to infections, or have ever had a heart attack, stroke, clot, or other heart problems, or swelling of lips, tongue, throat, or hives. Ask your doctor about prescription Xeljanz. Visit Xeljanz.com or call 1-844-XELJANZ.
This is KBLA Talk 1580, where hate loses and love wins.
It's bizarre.
They have someone in custody. You guys see this, not too long ago, Takeoff from the Migos was shot and killed in Houston.
They did find somebody?
Yeah, prosecutors say Patrick Xavier Clark applied for an expedited passport right after Takeoff's murder.
Wow.
By submitting an itinerary for a flight to Mexico when he was arrested. Prosecutors said he had received the passport and had a large sum of cash on him. Ooh, wow. So somebody's trying to help him escape. According to court documents, prosecutors are asking for Clark's bail to be set at $1 million. If Clark is released from bail, prosecutors are asking for a judge for an order that prohibits Clark from talking with a specific list of people. Takeoff's family, Jay Prince Jr., and his family, as well as Shakur Stevenson and anyone from Shakur's place of employment. According to the docs, prosecutors are asking the judge to place Clark under house arrest. Houston PD.
Wow.
Yeah.
He may bond?
Well, it's $1 million, so it all depends on how connected he is. I mean, even if he makes bond, let's say that's going to be what, $100,000 cash for somebody to put $1 million in surety bond in there. You know, yeah. I mean, he depending on how much money he had on him.
He doesn't need a bond to be. I mean, and I actually do advocate for folks to receive bonds so they can go home. But a situation like this, Takeoff was an innocent bystander. So this guy is extremely reckless, and I think that makes him a huge danger to society.
Yeah, I wonder what happened and what led to this whole situation. I mean, Takeoff was killed in the early morning of November 1st when he and Quavo were partying at a local bowling alley. At some point, celebration turned into an argument which led to a physical altercation and a shooting.
They were shooting dice. These things happen all the time.
When
people are shooting dice.
I said, ain't nothing ever good come out of shooting dice at 3 o'clock in the morning.
I agree. Growing up, so my dad has this button on his button. I call it a button on his hand right here. Mm-hmm. And because he would let me press it and it would open, and then I would press it and it would close. And he always made me believe that he went into the military and then he got shot in the military. And it wasn't until I was an adult and talking to my mom and I was telling my mom about this button. I thought it was so cute. He went to the military and got shot and now he has this button. And my mom was like, that never happened. He got shot in the hand shooting dice when he was younger.
Cops say Takeoff was not part of the argument and was not armed. He was an innocent bystander who was hit by gunfire. And check this out. 30 people were at the shooting and they all left without giving statements to police, which is, it is what it is. So hopefully this comes to conclusion. And shouts out to Houston PD for wrapping this up very quickly. More of this conversation is KBLA Talk 1580.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Doug Davis, and here's the latest from the Black Information Network. Twitter owner Elon Musk confirms that Kanye West's Twitter account is suspended again after the rapper now known as Ye tweeted a post that featured a swastika. The now deleted post went up Thursday evening after Ye appeared on Alex Jones's InfoWars show and repeatedly said he liked Adolf Hitler.